Welcome back to the PGT PLO Series. It is time for the epic conclusion of our 10K Pot-Limit Omaha Championship event. We're down to the final 5 players, all guaranteed $42,750 as I welcome you inside the stunning brand new Venetian Poker Room located at level 2 of the Palazzo Grand Canal Shops. Stop on by. Cards are in the air, cash games, tournaments, whatever you want to play. Sunday, always a good day to play some cards. And cards will be played as we take you inside our streaming room. 5 faces you are now all too familiar with as they will battle it out for the top prize of $182,400. My name is Rem Karinka, Donnie Peters alongside me in the booth to call the action. We'll be with you here until a winner is crowned. Among those that departed, Chino Reem in 9th, King Hai Pan in 28th, and Bryce Yockey finished on the bubble. And the picture you see there is Kai Wynn, who busted out a few spots before him. A look around some of the earlier action here as this event whittled down from 27 to 5 during yesterday's play. And it was quite the battle, but it has to be a battle when there's 3 trophies on the line. Look at that. The Lion, the card trophy for the PLO, and of course the PGT PLO Series Venetian trophy as well. As I mentioned, 182.4 is what the winner will take home. $42,750 for the final 5. So massive pay jumps. $140,000 separate 5th from 1st. And while you're watching the stream today, please get yourself dealt in on playpokergo.com, available on web, iOS, and Android. Play for fun, play for free, play from anywhere in the world. Just make sure you get in the mix. Here's a look at the winners. And it's all big names who won here this week. Bruno Firth kicked things off, winning the main event. There'll be also live streams. You can watch 2 days of that coverage on our YouTube channel as well. Sovereign, Osmus Glazer, Michael Wang, and Mermelstein, winner of events as well. And then there's one more happening today in the Venetian Poker Room. If you come on down, you can still hop into that event. Playing 50K, 100K with a 100K big blind ante, Jeremy Druckman stole the show last night, made the call of the year when it comes to PLO. He will be our favorite with 5.4 million chips, 53 big blinds as it stands. But let's not forget about the opposition. Isaac Kempton, the most aggressive player at this table, had a linear progression for all of yesterday until Jeremy Druckman took his lunch money, his dinner money, his allowance, everything all in one hand with an epic hero call. So Kempton and Druckman have some history. That's a fun battle to look forward to. Schwartz has been on the more conservative side. So has LaDarren Banks. And Shing had his sort of swings yesterday, but ultimately ended up bagging 2.7 million. Donnie, we've said it for 2 days now. Or actually, LaDarren Banks said it. You can't win the tournament today, but today, you actually can.
Oh, yes.
Get the first hand out of the way just to touch the cards
I'm
and play up.
hyped for Jeremy Druckman.
Like when you start
the guy has arrived as far as I'm
what
concerned,
Like
so I'm excited to see more of his play.
He'll just run the ball instead of have the quarterback throw it. Like, just settle in.
I feel that.
Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. How's your Sunday? Hope everyone's having a good time.
Hey, listen, whatever.
We'll just make an agreement.
Whatever gets you in the right mood.
I'm expecting a pretty long and fierce battle as there's lots of play left. And we've learned over the last few days that all these players are tough in their own way, and no one's going to give an inch for this.
Gloves off.
This thing has been settled all the way at the end. Queen, Queen 10, 5 for Kempton on the very first hand. Just going to limp the button. Look for Kempton to perhaps have the highest VPIP today. And the stack sizes are also similar now that the first elimination could really take a while unless we see a big clash, because Schwartz with 21 bigs is not really short.
Yeah, I would expect things ease into it today. You know, bit of a feeling out period at the beginning. You got that, you know, no one wants to be the first one to bust out, even though technically not the first bust out of the final table, because final table was officially 7-handed and we did see 2 already. But still, I think we're going to be here for a little while, so settle in, get comfortable, and enjoy the show.
3 quick checks on the flop. We see Jack 9-3, Jack. No player with the Jack, but open-ended straight flush draw here for Druckman.
Bet 150,000.
He's going to bet 150. Nothing out there for Schwartz. Kempton with the queen, still the showdown favorite. Also is open-ended without the flush draws.
All 150. Heads up.
Kempton's going to make the call. 7 of spades on the river. Druckman makes it straight, gets the check mark.
Maybe we see a check here out of Druckman with the board being paired, another spade coming in on the end. Maybe you see a bet.
Bet 250,000.
Does opt to bet his own hand. I would guess with the plan that if he does get raised here, would just be a fold. But gonna try and extract some value. Kempton's got an interesting one. Blocks spades with the queen of spades. Blocks the straight with the 10.
Tony, do you think that Kempton might take a more conservative approach against Druckman because he really learned about what Druckman is capable of yesterday?
I don't know. Kempton doesn't strike me as the guy who backs down. And he's kind of like the little brother that comes at you. You're the bigger brother. You just kind of push him away, but he gets right back up and just runs right back at you. That's Isaac Kempton to me. Which here, does that mean he goes for the bluff and puts in the raise? He does not.
Kempton gets out of the way. We'll look for a better spot, and Druckman draws first blood here, almost up to 6 million chips. Oh, look at this. We got Smitty in the chat. Smitty's all in. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you tuning in. Very nice showing by Smitty in the main event. It's a shame we didn't see you here for the championship. We definitely missed out on some chest bumps and other related shenanigans, which we, of course, love to see. Salty's back. Appreciate it. I think Salty was here all day yesterday. Love it, love it. Let us know in the chat who you're rooting for. Any special rooting interest? Perhaps a friend, a family member. Maybe you got a horse. Who knows? Bought a piece. Let us know.
Call. Option. Check.
And I think we're going to see a lot of this, Donnie. Just a small blind limp, big blind check, conservative approach. There's significant pay jumps here. We see 6, 7, 10 roll off.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any truly big pots. I mean, unless there is quite a big cooler that happens. I think everyone's going to try and navigate pretty conservatively here in the early goings. We might even go a level or two, you know, before the fireworks really start to happen. But the longer it stays 5-handed, you know, the stacks are going to get a little bit more shallow because the blinds are going to go up. So that doesn't mean we won't get the excitement at some point. It's going to happen for sure. It might be something where, you know, maybe we get one big bust out of level. Or if things get delayed, then we just get 4 bust outs, bang, 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 right in a row because everyone's just so short at that stage. Druckman is in a really good spot here to start. Everyone's kind of bunched together at the bottom. Now, no one's super short, yes, but Druckman can definitely really lean on people, and he did a lot of that yesterday towards the end of day 2. So let's see if that continues again here today. Probably do have to factor in that, you know, some of the players reviewed some of the footage. They saw what he was getting up to.
One of the things, in a strange way, that Druckman could be worried about if it drags on in the beginning, as it pertains to staying five-handed, is that the play itself will get shallower and shallower to the point where, you know, you're forced to call reshoves where you're gambling in, you know, let's call it 10 to 15 big blind all-in pots, and then, you know, it becomes like a casino at some point.
Oh, yes, definitely. We all like casinos. We all like gambling.
Yes. Blinds are 45 minutes per level. We have a break every 90 minutes. We got Matthew Higgins in the chat, LFGD Banks. Thanks for chiming in. We got Gilles and Atlantic City Phil in the chat on Venetian. If you're not yet subscribed to the Venetian Poker Live channel, I can highly encourage you to check out that channel. It's new. It's only a year old. We're trying to really lift it up. Lots of great moments, shorts, highlights. We got new episodes dropping every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, meaning that you'll get to see never seen before hands from the high stakes cash games that run at Venetian. Action folds here to Banks.
Call.
Banks is going to limp the button. Shing here double suited, but in the worst position at the table. Are we often raising here from the small blind to?
Pop.
Yeah, there it is.
Toss it. 400,000.
I like this here from Shing. Just really put the pressure on, take the initiative on the hand. Also, your hand's going to play pretty well and flop quite nicely.
Just yours. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No margaritas present yet at the table as Shing brings out the tea. We got a salad here. What happened to fun? Serious game, of course, playing the final table. Shout out to the Venetian Poker Room for always having the right kind of meal available to every player. You can get steak here on the Poker Room menu. They got salads, bowls of oats. Action folds to Druckman in the small blind. 18 bigs for Schwartz.
Calls. Option. Checks. Heads up.
Druckman limps in. Schwartz happy to see a free flop as King Queen 3 shows up. Just expecting Druckman to just
Check.
win a lot of pots. Small ones, mostly. Schwartz has no room to mess around. And PLO, too volatile of a game to really try to be creative on a shorter stack versus the chip leader. But Schwartz here hits the king high straight. He's got 100% next to his name.
Check.
Schwartz can just comfortably bet his hand here, I would imagine. An ace-jack is looming, yes, but would probably figure you get some pressure from that sort of holding from Druckman being the chip leader. Even out of the small blind, I would imagine he puts pressure on there with, you know, 2 big cards like that. So just take it right here.
Are you a little surprised to not see Druckman just, you know, stab flop to?
I thought maybe flop he could stab.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he could have some connectivity there. You know, he could have a king, he could have some straight draw, flush draws, etc. Maybe he just felt like, you know, I have enough hand that maybe it can just check to showdown.
Double suited here for Kempton. Ace 9, 8, 6. Very nice hand.
Call.
And what's the logic here behind limping? Is it simply just to keep the pot smaller because of stack sizes, because of Druckman's presence?
Yeah, and I think Kempton has a hand that he probably ultimately wants to see a flop with and see what develops from there. But you don't want to have to do that in a 3-bet pot. Or maybe you're just not allowed to do that in a 3-bet pot if you open and someone 3-bets you.
Option.
Maybe some element of is at play where, you know, yesterday we saw a lot of when Kempton opened, Druckman was just playing in position to him, and that turned out to be quite the nightmare for Isaac Kempton. So you also kind of avoid that coming up as well.
Scared money don't make money, Donnie.
That's very true. I mean, Kempton will probably be the first one to tell you that. But at this stage, you know, I think all these players are incentivized to just play really small pots. Other than Druckman, you know, he might try and drive some leverage against his opponents, but the other players just want to kind of keep things small, chip away here and there, and you know, slowly move up the leaderboard. Don't need to really be taking any big swings unless you have, you know, an ultra premium spot.
And here, Kempton with a lower variance route still manages to rake in the chips. Once again, welcome to the show, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
It's funny because a lot of people, I think, just expect PLO to be this high-octane, action-packed game. And while it very well might be in a cash game setting, in a tournament setting, it's very much the opposite, at least as you start to see more experienced players, better players. They take a much more conservative approach. There's a lot more post-flop play than you might imagine, as we just kind of saw, as evidence in the last hand, you know, more limping as opposed to just everyone just kind of trying to pile the money in pre. So expect that today. I mean, these guys are all here at this final table for a reason. This was a very tough field to get through. A good structure, which then allows kind of the better players to excel, and those are the ones that are going to make it deep like this. And they didn't just get here by getting lucky the whole way over the last 3 days. So, you know, just expect that same sort of play to continue.
Presence of the pay jumps, of course, a big factor here as well. Kempton again double suited, this time just winning the blinds and antes. And, you know, it's significant too. You just raise and take it is worth 250K.
Yeah, notice the different strategies deployed by Kempton. Kind of a similar looking hand than the last one when he limped. There though, he's got the ace-jack. You know, 2 big cards working towards Broadway. The jack was also suited, double suited again, but that jack a little bit of a higher flush should you make it. Slight more comfortability there. And Kempton, you know, last night, he was not shy to come in with raises under the gun, even when he had bigger stacks behind him, namely Jeremy Druckman, and that was another under the gun open from him. So he's not one of those players that's like, you know, I have to kind of rein it in under the gun because so many players are still left to act behind me. He's been pouncing there when the opportunity has presented itself.
Raise 250.
Banks now making it 250. And Banks, perhaps a bit unconventional on day one. We called it out a few times where he would limp or over limp aces or big hands. But seemingly that small ball approach has really worked well for him.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, he'll obviously take his shots when he needs to, but he'll deploy a lot of limping too.
King Jack 7-6 for Schwartz. It's kind of weird, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but normally we'd always talk about the disadvantage of having the chip leader be on your left. I almost feel like Schwartz has the disadvantage that Druckman is on his right, because he plays a lot of blind battles against him. He's going to see him open raise a lot, which is going to reduce the ability for him to be aggressive on his own. So he's almost handcuffed, even though he has position.
Yeah, I think Schwartz definitely is a player who, if he does get chips and find himself in a better position, he will start to get after a little bit more. But right now, he is going to be handcuffed, like you said. And a lot of that has to do with Druckman. You know, Druckman's going to probably come into a lot of pots. Schwartz is going to be incentivized to not enter a lot of pots right now.
Check.
Maybe Druckman bets this hand here. Now, I know it is just queens, has backdoor clubs, but the queen and the 7 also working to kind of block some continues from your opponent. You know, some of those straight draws that could possibly check call. Not that you don't mind a check call from a hand that's inferior to yours, I get it, but you know, it's just a little bit safer to be able to navigate on future streets.
5 of clubs on the turn. Druckman picks up a flush draw. Now, is picking up the flush draw incentive to bet or incentive to check? Because sometimes Hold'em and PLO don't sort of correspond the same way.
Yeah, he might now just want to check behind and you know, kind of realize that equity. Also, I think betting is fine too. You do pick up the additional equity. So in the chance that you are behind, at least you have that backup with the flush draw. And also, as it relates to Druckman, you know, he's found a lot of spots where he's had a couple of options presented in front of him, and he's oftentimes picked the more aggressive one, and more specifically, picked it against Isaac Kempton. You know, he put him in a lot of really tough spots. And there, you know, you just see a snap fold out of Kempton with 2 pair. Even though Kempton had the 2 pair, had 65% equity, I think it was there. But he's just like, no, I'm done with this one.
I think handcuffed really is the right word. Kempton, more than most players, loves to be aggressive, loves to be creative. But right now, the opportunities are just not there, and you have to be mindful of the fact you played for 2 full days to get to this point, and outlasting even 2 more players takes you from $42,000 to $80,000. You know, that's rent money right there. Ace, Jack, Jack 4 for Kempton, and it continues to limp. We're seeing significantly lower pre-flop raise percentages here in the early goings.
Option. Checks.
Kempton limps in. Schwartz in the big blind decides to check his option. And, you know, so far, fairly static play. 7-3 deuce rainbow on the flop. Jacks are best here, but that's not the kind of flop to get excited over.
Could see Kempton betting here. You know, the Jacks as the overpair, pretty disconnected board, all things considered. Does have backdoor nut clubs. Does have the gutter to the wheel as well.
Pop.
350.
Pot here from Kempton, applying the pressure. Now, in situations like these on these dry boards, obviously Schwartz has to have a really specific hand to continue if we're at least, you know, taking out the sets, because it's hard to have a strong draw here, and by him betting pot, it's getting committal very quickly there for Schwartz given his stack size.
Yeah, and Kempton, you know, coming in with a pot size bet is kind of telling you, listen, man, I'm willing to play for it all, or at least that's what I want you to think. So that's going to limit the ability for Schwartz to want to continue. I will say this. The PLO chat pros are way better than the No Limit Hold'em chat pros. I mean, these people actually know what they're talking about, I feel like. Versus the stuff people say when you're watching Hold'em is just absolutely outrageous. So shout out to you guys out there, the chat pros.
I mean, we
actually bring in some meaningful commentary in the chat box.
We actually just got started, and we're already talking about capped and uncapped ranges.
Raise.
Usually the discourse is more like, that was terrible. Or some flavor of that. Druckman makes it 225 on the button, king 775, and this is one of those spots where he's just looking to pick up the blinds and antes, keeping the pressure on the smaller stacks.
Heads up.
$6-5-5, nice looking flop for Druckman, making trips here.
Check.
And oftentimes you'll see in PLO kind of really no reason to slow play. Often see players just start betting their hand immediately. I would expect the same out of Druckman here.
Bet 175,000.
How much is in there?
This is 600. 10 seconds. 12 and 75.
Oh, he's got Banks coming along here. Small bet from Druckman does keep Banks on the hook.
Ace of clubs on the turn.
Check.
Banks with a quick check again. Banks, of course, just hoping on Druckman to check back turns to perhaps wiggle his pair of queens to a showdown position.
Check.
And he's going to get the check back, but against trip fives, he's far behind. Deuce of hearts on the river. 950 in the middle now. Banks still just hoping, fingers crossed.
Yeah, hoping he's just going to get to showdown here, and he might get to showdown. You know, the presence of 3-4 does come in. Obviously, there's better fives out there. So maybe Druckman does come with the check back, and Banks gets his wish, but did seem like a little bit of an ambitious call on the flop. Then again, you are against the chip leader opening on the button, so he could be pretty wide here.
100,000. Sounds good.
Druckman came with 600K there, and it got a quick fold.
Jonathan in the chat says, this is so much different from a cash game. Pot and repot almost every hand pre-flop. And that's exactly right. You know, a PLO cash game can feel like you've just, you know, hit yourself with a shot of adrenaline and things go crazy. So, sometimes, what's that movie again with Jason Statham where his heart rate has to stay above a certain level?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's what PLO cash games
Was it
sometimes
Crank?
look like. Was it Crank? Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I mean, pretty much every Jason Statham movie is this similar.
Yeah,
Arm close.
if Jason Statham movies were a poker game, then it'd be PLO cash.
Yeah, for sure.
5 clubs gonna be our burner, bud. Sorry about that.
Edward in the chat, thanks for the shout. You got Remco and Donnie here.
We are seeing kind of an expected start to this final table. Druckman's up 1.5 million from where he began the
Yep.
day, which coming in with that chip lead that he had, thanks to the final hand of the night on day 2, you know, it does allow him more flexibility, more freedom.
Tournament players, Tommy's back to tell you about Deep Stack Extravaganza 2. April 1st through May 17th with more than 2 million in tournament guarantees. You're not going to want to miss some major events on the tournament schedule. Join us for our $600 buy-in, $150,000 guarantee, April 1st through the 4th, followed by our $800 no-limit hold'em, $200,000 guarantee, April 8th through the 12th, followed by the $1,100 buy-in, no-limit hold'em, $200,000 guarantee, April 16th through the 19th, culminating in one more $800 no-limit hold'em, $200,000 guarantee, May 6th through the 10th. You're not going to want to miss this series with over 2 million in tournament guarantees. Join us April 1st through May 17th inside the Venetian Poker Room.
Thank you, Tommy, for the update. Donnie, I feel like he's speaking directly to you
Why?
because he's telling you about all these tournaments that you have to win.
Yeah, listen, I've looked at that schedule 3 times, I think, already, just trying to kind of map out what I could fit in, you know, go around the work schedule and dive in. I'm very much looking forward to it. They are great tournaments here. Talked about it the other day, but the structures on those tournaments, it doesn't matter if it's an 1100 on that schedule, if it's a 1600, or if it's down the other way going to like the 300s, the 400s, the 600s. The structures are incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're playing like 40-minute levels in a $600 tournament. Like, you're making the money. Average stack is 30, 40 bigs. Like, that's just unheard of at that price point.
Yeah, phenomenal offering of tournaments at Venetian. If you're a poker fan, you just got to come down and play if you ever get a chance. was talking to Tommy about the summer schedule. He says, man, we're very, very close to announcing. Lots of stuff in the works. Can't wait to see what they come with. Always phenomenal to be able to find some action wherever you are staying on the strip. And again, action folds to Druckman. This time it makes it 300K, and Schwartz is not going to just surrender. Ace Jack 5 deuce is going to make the call. Perhaps hoping to connect and make something happen here. King deuce 3-2 hearts. At least Schwartz has the hard blocker, but it's a question of how aggressive he feels like he can be.
Might just be a flop here that as the pre-flop raiser, Druckman, he's going to want to continue. Probably don't have a lot of like the deuce 3 connectivity within Schwartz's range. I mean, yes, he could have it, but the king, when you're thinking about pre-flop raising range, is probably going to favor Druckman a little bit more. And we got a pot-sized raise here. Love this.
I guess the ace of hearts really inspires, and look at that. Selective aggression from Schwartz, and that is a big pickup for him.
Well, I think that's just understanding of how close the equities run in PLO. You know, Schwartz knows that in combination with the fact that he blocks aces and he blocks ace-king, he's paired with the deuce, so even if his other cards are live, probably have a lot of connectivity. You know your opponent can't have the nut flush draw as well. So, you know, Schwartz just short enough as the shorter stack that he knows, listen, there's going to be a good amount of time that this guy's just bullying me. So this is enough. And worst case scenario, what am I, going to be 40%? Like
right.
That's like the worst. So let's just go. Our first aces today?
First aces of the day.
Okay.
Let's see if Shing is able to make something happen with them. Kempton with double suited king, queen, jack 4. Definitely playable here.
Probably going to go 5 ways here, unless Banks picks up something to raise with.
All right.
Yeah, and
Snap check from him.
Family.
Shing now
First family.
probably extra cautious with aces, but he doesn't have to be too concerned because he flops top set, which is the nuts right now.
Top set, he's got backdoor nut clubs as well. It is disconnected enough that there's no immediate presence of a straight out there, which is good. That said, you know, there are draws that can come in. A lot of these guys can have some random cards with this being a limped pot, so just going to bet the hand right away. No need whatsoever to slow play this. Just start going to driving your value.
$250 from Shing, and he gets some of the fastest folds we've seen here at the final table. Banks, the only one interested. Also the one with the best equity versus Shing's hand.
Yeah, backdoor hearts, got the gutter. You know, Banks has been sticky in these sorts of spots, so I'm not surprised at all to see this call from him. And there's a heart.
Oh, yeah. This is big. Heart on the turn. 70-30 in Shing's favor, but I have a suspicion with the presence of the heart and Shing still having the nuts, he's going to size up here significantly.
Yeah, I think probably just go full pot.
$700.
That's 700.
And there it is, 700, 2/3 pot.
700. That's 700.
Chad is saying that he's supposed to pot there. Pot, pot, pot. Schwartz now on the button on 2 million.
Make it 350.
Imagine being Shing and the first two cards you look at is Ace of Hearts, King of Hearts. And you're like, oh man, let's go. And then the 6-5 off.
Oh, 350.
8-9-4.
Okay.
Gut shot to the 9 high straight now. Schwartz continues for 800, and I feel like Schwartz is very much willing to take some risk here. Has picked his spots carefully so far and has done well. All right, 2 more hands, and then we go to 75, 150, or 125? Hold on. Had to be 125, right?
Yeah, I think 125 and then 150.
I thought he
I would
said-
imagine it's 125 just with how good the structure has been the whole time. I mean, day one, we're playing double levels at one point, so.
Right. I thought I heard him say 150, and I was like, oh my God, we're going to lose like 3 players.
That's a big jump if it is 150. We're going to find out in 2 hands, so that's
Yeah, that's true. Double suited queens for Druckman. And there it is on your screen, 75K, 150K.
Schwartz is one of those players where if he starts chipping up a little bit more, gets up above 3 million, maybe pushes towards 4 million, I would expect him to really start to get after it. You know, he's the type of player who, when he's on a bigger stack and has some maneuverability, will not hold back. Now, of course, right now, word of the day is he is just handcuffed by a lot of things, so just going to kind of bide his time and pick his spots quite a bit more selectively, but you know, don't be surprised if he does start trending up a little bit and he's able to just get after it.
Jack deuce 6 with spades. Druckman's queens are still best, facing Kempton yet again. In what way does PLO differ from No Limit from a tournament perspective as it pertains to the C-bet, which is such a traditional, classic thing to do when you're the aggressor in Hold'em?
450.
I think a lot of times you're going to kind of want a little bit more equity in your hand, I would say. I think it's also maybe at times a little bit more tricky to figure out certain hands that your opponent could have. Not that these players aren't very much experienced in PLO, they are, so they probably have a better feel for it, honestly, than I do.
So it's
but,
just a
you know,
no-brainer.
oftentimes in Hold'em, you're just like, okay, this is my board, not his. Me as the pre-flop raiser, like I know he has kind of no connectivity here whatsoever, so it's just an auto C-bet.
So would you say in Hold'em you play more against the range of your opponent, where in PLO you have to be a bit more mindful of your own range, just because there's a lot more calls in your opponent's range when you're playing heads-up flops, because there are just so many more possibilities out there?
Yeah, and then also, you know, one of the benefits in PLO is that you do know 2 additional cards.
Yes.
So it can help you narrow down ranges of your opponents. So even if those cards, you just have 2 cards that are basically for you, don't really connect with the board and they're kind of throwaways in your mind, still think of them and be mindful of them as they relate to your opponent's hand. Well, if he doesn't have these cards, then maybe he's a little bit more inclined to connect with the board if these cards aren't connected. Or maybe if these cards do connect in a way or they have some blocker properties, you know, think of that as well. So in a sense, even though there's like more possibilities on one side, you kind of have more complete information to work with than in Hold'em.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny how it's both more complete information, but there's also more of an unknown because there's just more options out there, right? If someone calls you with a rundown type hand, their lowest card could flop trips, which completely messes with everything. And that type of connectivity, it can be very unexpected.
Definitely. I also think the other thing is that in PLO, which I think is probably quite a bit more commonplace these days that people understand, is that, you know, we say it all the time, equities run much closer.
Right.
Like it's rare that you're going to have 80% versus 20% on the flop. In Hold'em, you see that kind of often. You know, you smash the flop, even if it's top pair, your opponent just completely whiffed and just has like no equity whatsoever. But in PLO, you're often in the 55 to 60 range if you have the higher equity, and then your opponent's on the other side of things. But even that's still pretty close. So to have to again be mindful of that, and when you're in those situations, you're not always just piling a bunch of money in when you're essentially flipping.
Yeah, that's what they do in the cash
Can
game.
you say 1 million?
You're just flipping.
4-4.
60-40s all day.
First.
10 of hearts on the turn
You like
here
that card or no?
after
It's on you first.
a 1,000,000 chip bet on the
I know
flop
it's
by
on
Kempton.
me. I asked you a question.
Jacks and 10s now for
God.
Kempton.
Pot.
And there it is. Moves all in for 1.1.
What's up?
Shing with
Oh, I love that. I fucking love that. How much is it?
this is a very
Music to my ears.
disgusting situation. Kempton made it 400K. Shing called. Then Kempton bet $1 million on the flop, and now all in for 1.1. Shing paired on the turn. He's got a variety of draws available to him. Nowhere near a done deal if he does make the call, but does he want to risk almost all of his own chips here? Probably, like, knowing he's behind now.
Yeah, and not only is he behind, he could have thoughts that his draws just aren't good. You know, this was limped from him to start it off and a raise from Kempton. So Kempton could have ace-x of diamonds, for example. I mean, worst case, he's got ace-queen-9 something. You know, ace-king-queen-9, where you're just like stone dead if he's got diamonds too. Like, it's just a really tough spot. So, yes, he does have some draws to back himself up, but how valuable are those draws?
Shing deep in the tank. He's got 1.4 back. Blinds are about to go up to 75, 125. And his cards will hit the muck, and Kempton will pick this up non-showdown. He is back up to 4.1 million.
And I think that's a good fold. I mean, I know we can see on our side of things that he does have 35% there, but he doesn't know that necessarily, and he might think his equity is quite a bit less. And also, you know, even if his equity lines up with the pot odds that he's getting, he's like, okay, I'm kind of priced in to call here. Well, you have to factor in the fact that if he were to lose that pot, I think he would have been left with 300K.
Yeah.
So for all intents and purposes, out of the tournament in
Yes.
5th place. So you have to factor that in as well. Even though he did cover Kempton, yes, and he could spin it back up if it came to it. But, you know, you're left with fewer than 3 big blinds. That's not going to be really beneficial for you going forward. So I think the fold is aligned. Look at this one for Kempton.
Aces for Kempton on the very next hand.
And he's starting to heat up over 4 million now.
Yeah, and this is the haves and the have-nots, and the pressure on the other stacks will go up substantially with Kempton now also having chips to spare. Druckman and Kempton might just take turns raising at this point.
That's a lot of what we saw on day 2.
Yep.
So that could very much start to play out. And now he's up over 4.4 million just with that raise and take.
If you're just joining us right now, hope you're having a good Sunday. This is the final table of the PGT PLO Series Championship. 10K buy-in, 180K up top. 57 total entries in this event. There's a 500K guaranteed prize pool.
Might be time to just pot this one here for Shing. And this is also the first time at this final table when we've had a player as short as Shing is right now, which does kind of increase that ICM effect on some of the other players here. So just be mindful of that as it plays out.
Druckman tosses jacks into the muck. Nothing there for Schwartz. Banks double suited, and he's going to call rather quickly. His spades, however, are covered by Shing. Oh, speaking of spades, King 7-3 with spades. Can imagine that Shing's probably going to jam here. Even if his queens are no good, his flush draw is surely there to help him escape.
$300.
That's 300.
Instead comes with 300. And a quick toss from Banks. PGT PLO Series wraps up with today's final table. But fear not, April 10th, the USPO kicks off at the PokerGo studio. Kings for Kempton.
Raise at 300.
Shing, Banks, and Schwartz basically tied, all three of them.
Thanks.
Thank you. Hello.
This is something I mentioned at the start of the stream. If we don't see an elimination for a long time, the variance is only going to increase as the stacks get shallower. I'm not saying anything revolutionary here, but in a game like PLO, it has such a huge impact because of, you know, potentially a three-way all-in where players just have too much of a hand to not go for it. And I think this level we're still fine, but the next level, 75, 150, it's definitely going to be hard to fade the all-in showdowns if you're, you know, below 2 million. King, queen, deuce, two diamonds. Banks flops, top two. Kempton whiffs completely.
175.
Pot Monster in the chat. I don't even care if this is true, but it's really funny. Says, I was at the courts with Kempton last week. He's a demon in the paint and has a nasty three. I'd love to watch Kempton chuck up some threes. remember the WSP at the Rio in the back, next to the food truck? They always had the hoop there. You know, you would see Huck Seat, you know, throwing down long bombs with Wasserson and the guys. Imagine if Kempton was part of that crew.
Yeah, I mean, I just picture him like Philip Seymour Hoffman in Along Came Polly. Just
oh, yes.
jacking him up.
Yes. Oh, my God. Still 5 left. All guaranteed 42,750. These players, of course, playing to win, but the pay jumps at this stage of the tournament very significant. Double suited again for Kempton. Queen Jack 6-5. That's not good enough for him to play. It's too disconnected.
Call. Option. Check. Super.
Jack 7 deuce. Druckman with the worst hand in Hold'em, flopping 2 pair.
Second. $150.
Druckman's just going to bet it right away. Wouldn't mind ending it right here on the spot. He does just that.
Launching in.
Double suited queens here for Shing. He's on 1-7 and now our short stack.
Pot.
3-7. No, 450. Sorry, 450.
$450 from Shing. He'd be totally fine just to win the small pots. And he does just that. Keeps his stack alive. Tournament poker is definitely a game of survival. What's up? The usual suspect. Thank you for watching, as always. Double suited king queen now for Kempton, and he's chipped up about the same amount as Druckman. They're the only two players who are currently up since the start of play, and I'm not surprised to see that. Schwartz is going to go on the offensive with kings and a suit.
450.
And we're seeing a lot of small pots being played right now. Not a lot of counter aggression. Players waiting their turn, waiting for real hands. No unnecessary risks being taken, and that's sometimes what happens in tournament play. You don't want to be the guy to punt it off when your opponent wakes up with the real one, especially at the final table. All right, chat, give me some predictions. How many more hands until there's an elimination? We are on hand 29, so give me a hand number. Donnie, you want to kick this off?
47.
47. I'm gonna go 53. Just watch the next hand be an all-in.
Call 125. Option.
Limp here from Shing onto Kempton with 5s and 3s. Ace 10-9 is
Check.
it's definitely a lot more in Shing's neighborhood.
Check.
8 of spades on the turn gives Shing the 10 high straight. And he's continuing to check, just hoping that Kempton is going to fire with something. Kempton only has 3s and 5s, so he is done with the hand.
Shing probably just in check call mode again.
150.
Or bet. That's fine too. Snap fold out of his buddy there, Kempton.
And the stacks sort of staying where they are. We got 3 players around 2 million, and then the 2 big dogs, Kempton and Druckman. Dan Dart says hand 55. So that means we got 25 more hands before we see an elimination. Very curious to see how this final table will develop. And a lot of it will have to do with whether Druckman can maintain his chip lead, because that is sort of looming over everyone right now. Donnie, there's not a lot of pleasantries being exchanged at this final table.
No, these guys hate each other. But in all seriousness, I think people are just locked into the task at hand, and that is try and perform the best. So the chit-chatting that we experienced on day 1 and day 2, gone by now. I mean, it did lessen as day 2 went on.
Do you think players are tired after, this whole week of PLO? Because these guys all played every event, basically.
Yeah, played every event, played up until this point 2 pretty long days of poker. Even that first day, I would bet a lot of them registered on time at the start because this event did offer that rake discount, so it is beneficial to show up early as opposed to coming in late. So yeah, I would say these guys are probably fighting some fatigue. Now, in the moment, maybe the adrenaline takes over and you're not feeling it as much, but it could definitely come into play, and maybe you feel it a little bit. Maybe your decisions are a little bit more cloudy, but they can definitely be tired.
Well, we see King 10-8, Rainbow. Druckman made it 375. Schwartz, the only caller, and Schwartz here flopping 2 pair, as well as a straight draw. Druckman not continuing despite the backdoor diamonds and the Broadway draw. He's got to have a little more equity before feeling comfortable firing some more chips.
Seconds.
Pop.
875.
Here comes a pot bet from Schwartz. Shutting it down here right away. as it pertains to final table experience. Kempton definitely has the edge here. Seen him in action at the PokerGo studio on many occasions.
275.
In my mind, Kempton's still, fairly new, but he's got 6.1 million in career tournament earnings and $1 million score, his best result. That, of course, the result that really put him onto the map, finishing second in the Win Millions back in 2022. Last year, in the summer, he finished third in the 10K 6 max at the WSOP, arguably one of the toughest tournaments on the calendar. And as it pertains to PLO, he's got 2 wins at the PokerGo studio in PLO events. Excuse me, not 2 wins, 2 big scores. 1 win at the US Poker Open, and then of course he finished 4th in the Super High Roller Bowl PLO, the inaugural edition, won by Jared Blesnick, when Donnie and I basically were taking turns napping during that final table.
Yes.
Was it like 5 in the morning when it finished?
God,
250.
Do you remember that I had to start a new YouTube stream because
yeah. I remember that because it was running out.
it was like over 12 hours.
Yeah, you had to scramble to get that done.
Jared Blesnick, according to Bruno Firth, the only player eligible for the PLO Mount Rushmore. We'll have the video out on Instagram, I think, in the coming days, asking the players in this event who belongs on the PLO Mount Rushmore. Give me 4 names. And Bruno Firth said Blesnick, the Bles, Jared Blesnick, and Jared Blesnick. Let us know in the chat who you think the all-time PLO legends are. You can qualify that however you see fit. 275 here from Kempton, raising it up.
Call. Check.
King, Queen, Deuce, 2 hearts. Kempton, 2 pair,
200.
flush draw, straight draw. Shing, it's got a wrap. Donnie, is the money going in?
Because of the presence of the hearts and Shing not having any, I don't think the money's going in. Now, I do think we can see a continue here for the 200K from Shing.
Six of clubs on the turn. Kempton still well out in front, 1.1 million in the middle. Could you see Kempton potting it here?
Yes.
There it is. Pot bet from Kempton.
1-5.
Shing just left with a beautiful draw.
Yep.
But ultimately it is only jack high. And Shing again has to let it go. Kempton now approaching 5 million chips. A little reminder here to check out playpokergo.com. If you want to play some poker for fun, for free, from anywhere in the world, get the app for iOS or Android, or just check it out on your computer. All of it also available on desktop. That is playpokergo.com. Play for free. Play right now. Great little sidekick to all this final table action that we're watching.
I'm going to get in there right now.
Let's go.
There's a free roll coming up in 14 minutes, so I'm going to get in that. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, the action has slowed down enough, all things considered, that I could probably do both things.
Your free roll might be done by the time we lose one player.
That's true.
Call 125. Option. Check.
King, queen, deuce. 2 diamonds. Shing and Kempton at it again, this time in this blind battle.
Check.
Wow, there's already 160 people in this free roll.
Wow.
Check. Check.
Action gets checked down to the river. 7s are good.
150.
Bet 150.
Still waiting for a big pot to develop here between these 5. Just doesn't seem like anyone is going to get out of line, which is understandable given that this is a final table, but we are craving some action at this point.
Call 125. Option.
And again, we go into a limp pot in the blinds. Donnie, they're doing it to themselves at this point. The blinds are going to continue to keep up, and it's going to become casino, as I said earlier.
Yeah, in a way, it's kind of like a spin and go. At some point, you know, you play a set number of time or hands, and then everyone's just kind of forced all in. That's at some point, that's what it's going to come down to, and that's where, when you're in the seat of Jeremy Druckman, it's just super advantageous to you because your stack is growing, and if it does become more of a gamble fest later on, he's the one who's able to absorb some hits should it come down to that. You know, if we're just flipping coins, well, he's got, you know, more shells in the chamber.
Check.
Yeah, just lots of limp and then lots of checking. Check mark here for Schwartz. It's funny how he has that check mark with just ace-10 here.
Check.
I don't think we're going to see him bet this hand. Probably just another check back here.
Check.
Interesting to see if Druckman decides to bluff at this.
$250.
He is going to bet 250 here, and this is a really hard call to make here for Schwartz. Only has ace-10.
Definitely. I mean, Druckman could have just checked a 5, trying to get to the end, make strips here, and, you know, is going to lean on his opponent a bit. And look at that, best hand in the muck.
And Druckman now the first player over 7 million. He's got 41% of the chips in play in the driver's seat for the win here today. But as we've seen here in the first 90 minutes of this final table, getting the win today will be anything but easy. Druckman's biggest result dates back to 2013 when he finished 5th in a WPT at the Borgata for $182,514. So he cannot get his biggest score ever. He'll be $112 short.
The trophies are worth that much, though. So I think he gets over the hump.
Definitely.
Raise 300.
Ace-10, 8-7 for Kempton is going to raise it up. Slavic in the chat says, as a short stack, you got to wait for a decent hand. And, you know, that's very much true. As a short stack, you're, you know, sort of handcuffed to finding a real hand. The creativity and aggression is something we can really only expect from the two bigger stacks, but they then don't want to run into it, creating unnecessary or unwanted variance for them. And Schwartz with aces here is just going to win the blinds and antes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys. 75, 150.
Tommy's back. Poker players, you're going to want to pick up your new Travis Matthew Venetian poker hat inside the Venetian Poker Room. That's right, for $55 in poker rewards, you can pick up your brand new hat in one of 4 colors: black, white, gray, or blue. We can't wait to see you wearing your Travis Matthew Venetian poker hat soon.
Thank you, Tommy. Make sure you get in the mix there if you play at Venetian. Busy poker room again today. Lots of action happening. feels repetitive because I kind of say that every time I'm here. There's always something going on. Double suited ace-10, and that's just going to hit the muck. That clearly has to do with the fact that Banks and Shing are as short as they are. Double suited again for Schwartz. And again, it hits the muck. Aces for Shing. He's going to raise pot. And these are the spots where a player like Druckman is going to take no unnecessary risks or gambles, because there's literally no value to gambling with someone who is only going to win the blinds and antes when he can just continue to pick up pots left and right without having to go to showdown or take any big risks.
Yeah, and he also has to understand, which he likely does, that
Very nice.
Shing is probably pretty strong there.
You used to feel more.
Yes, he is on the
Feel
button,
more.
so maybe you get a little bit wider in some cases, but he is raising into two much larger stacks in Kempton and Druckman, so Shing is probably quite up there in his range.
Automatic shuffler. Protesting perhaps a little bit.
I think it's good now. Okay.
Kings and deuces for Banks. He now the short stack. That's just how quickly your stack can dwindle when you're not winning any hands.
Time. Seconds.
Banks almost seems torn with these kings, and he ends up throwing them into the muck.
So one time. Raise 300.
Kempton, no hesitation, raising it up. Ace-9, 8-7. And this is where it gets like annoying for a guy like Schwartz, right? When the two shortest stacks have folded, Kempton has free reign to just open, and Schwartz knows that he's got a sizable gap now versus Shing and Banks, and it helps that he has no hand here. But as this develops, we might see a situation where Kempton and Druckman continue to grow, the other players continue to fold, and we're going to just get to a point where they have no more room to move.
Yeah, I mean, Schwartz is just stuck in the middle. He can't really do anything. Not that he's a big gap between him and Philip Shing, but still, Shing and Banks are down there enough that it really does benefit Schwartz just to do a ton of folding. Not really get involved at all. I mean, if you just got the goods, you got the goods. But in a lot of spots, he's just going to be sitting on the sidelines here, kind of waiting out the other two players.
Double suited jacks for Druckman. And this is exactly the type of hand that if he gets reshoved on, he'll be totally fine running it, as they say. Ace, King, Jack 3 for Banks.
He might just pot this.
Call.
Gonna come with a call. You know, thought maybe there was a chance he just pots that suited to the ace. He's got the ace, king, jack, which they're good hands, or good cards, and then also they can block some of your opponent's powerful hands. And wow, jack high.
Damn.
This might be bad news for Banks. Yep.
That is very bad news. Only 8% for Banks as he runs into top set. Diamond on the turn for the sweat. Sort of the best he can hope for. Queen of diamonds. The best card, probably. LaDarren Banks has put on a tremendous performance to make it this far. Can he make it any further?
GG.
4 of clubs on the turn. Full house for Druckman, and that'll do it. LaDarren Banks eliminated in 5th place, taking home $42,750. We have our first casualty at today's final table. And the rich get richer as Jeremy Druckman, our chip leader, does the damage. He's now up to 8.5 million. And Kempton there making the ladder hands as they all receive a $15,000 pay jump.
For my kids.
We're going to do 4 more hands, right? And then we will end this level and go on a break. I will start the break clock when we are finished with that hand. But 4 more hands.
All right, 4 more hands now until the blinds go up. And it took until hand 43, Donnie. So we were both a little pessimistic.
Great run there from LaDarren Banks. BetOnYourself.us. One more shout out as he's out the door. Why not? The man deserves it for a 5th place finish. Great showing by him. Don't really think there was anything he could have done there on that final hand. Could have certainly seen him just pot it pre and get the money in pre-flop. Of course, once he flops top pair on that board as short as he was, money's going to go in anyway. And either way, he was going to be out the door.
What the fuck? Oh.
What a hand to get a walk with. Wow.
You guys. Second nut.
What's the first?
Depends. I would think Jack 10. What do you think?
Some people are king truthers.
You're confused.
I didn't say I was. I'm just saying.
Some people.
There's a spirited debate.
Someone other than myself, as they say. Asking for a friend.
Double suited again here. Queen 10, 9, 7 is nothing to sneeze at either.
Check.
Queen 7, 7 is just what the doctor ordered, but now it's going to be hard to get some value for Shing as Kempton is left high and dry.
6 on the turn for the fireworks.
Well, it's the King of Hearts, which does pair Kempton. A sliver of hope now for Shing to make some money off of this.
Yeah, Shing probably done betting right now. Just want to try and extract value across 2 streets. Kempton might just bin this one. Wow, he's coming with the raise. Oh my God.
Go.
375.
Makes it 375, and Shing. Oh, look at that. A little raise of the eyebrows. This is exactly what he was looking for. Of course, Shing trying to look as though he has a real decision.
10 seconds. Call. 25 more.
Now, for Kempton, Donnie, with, you know, quote unquote, just the king, is this just a way to get to the river without having to call another bet, because he can just, you know, check back to keep things safe?
Yeah, I think he does end up checking back here.
Checks back quickly, and Shing is showing it all, up to 2.3 million.
How many more hands do we have?
This hand and then one more.
For those asking, the elimination happened on hand 43. Saw Southpaw asked in there. I got a question for the chat. So the PGT PLO Series trophy includes 4 cards on it. It includes Ace, Ace, King, King.
Okay.
Supposed to signify, like, you know, one of the best starting hands, or the best starting hand. There was a debate the other day at one of the tables, and it did involve Philip Shing, of if that should be the hand that's on the trophy, or if there should be a different hand on the trophy. You know, Ace, Ace, King, Queen, double suited, for example. You know, does somebody want to see Jack 10, 9, 8 double suited? You know, something like that. So what do you guys think should be on the trophy? Should we have kept the Ace, Ace, King, King? Because when it was being put together, I remember debating with Tim Duckworth on what should be on there. And I said it should be the Ace, Ace, King, King double.
I agree. Aces and kings, the 2 biggest pairs in poker. A made hand, much more so than the Ace, Ace, Jack 10, which you often hear about also. Ace, King, Queen, Queen is up there as well. Kempton with a beautiful Queen 10, 9, 8 double suited. Druckman, however,
10 seconds.
with the best of it here. Perhaps betting this for
Bet
some
300,000.
protection, weeding out some of the nonsense, and Kempton does not have enough to go with.
Got a fair amount of Ace, Ace, Jack 10 double suited coming in right away.
Oh boy.
Have you seen Hell's Paradise? It's one of the closest thing I've seen to Berserk in a long time. It's still ongoing. It's quite good.
I'll make sure to check it out. Hell's Paradise?
Yeah, it's really good. Hopefully we get a Crunchyroll sponsorship.
King, King, 6-3 for Kempton.
I'll break right.
Players are getting ready to go on break. But Kempton is going to try and just win these blinds one more time. Double suited queen 9-8-4 for Schwartz. Schwartz is going to make the call. So we got heads-up action with only 2 players left at the table. This is also significant as we see ace, jack 7 and 2 spades, 1.1 million in the middle. Kempton's kings are outdone by the ace on the board. However, does have the advantage being the initial raiser.
Seconds. $325.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. Kempton continues for 325, representing the ace, and he will close out this level with 4.4 million. Druckman, however, commanding chip lead, more than double his nearest competitor. Shing and Schwartz, the 2 shorter stacks. We've got lots more PLO action to come here. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in about 15 minutes for continued coverage of the PGT PLO Championship event.
Oh, I think
Makes it
Ben Stiller
8K to
and,
go.
I like Farrell or something like that. I don't remember, man. It's.
I haven't seen that.
Oh my God.
I mean, for
it's
Jackie,
so
I mean,
funny.
call here is
'Cause it's just
natural. You
like
keep in worse hands. You can just play all in
old
on the
Vegas
turn a
days,
lot.
kind of.
But
you
all
know,
in seems reasonable too.
like
You have 5?
the spray tan,
Queen?
you know, like
Yeah.
it's funny.
2 times, yeah.
Is it supposed to be
Dominating
Jim
spot
Ca-
here
well,
for
Jim
Jackie for
Carrey
a
is
huge
basically
pot,
playing
63K.
like a Chris Angel type of person.
9 on
and
the
it's
turn.
so funny.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Jack on the river. The ace
like
jack
20
is
years old.
good for
Yeah.
Jackie on the
old
first
movie,
run
yeah.
out.
Oh, it's a movie.
It's a movie, yeah.
And the
Okay.
3 of hearts comes in on
I
the
gotta look it
second
up.
run out, followed by the 10 of hearts for good measure.
Hearts?
Jackie's going to scoop both.
Not flush.
No one's really paying attention at the table, but that was the $63,000 pot
Maybe I'm talking about.
that B-Dun is going to be sending over to Jackie.
You have something.
And John Isaac, not known for time wasting, he makes the call right away. And it comes queen 9-9. John Isaac, top pair, top kicker, 10K in the middle. Paulie G slowing down right away. 6,000 right away from John Isaac.
This is really gross with 2 jacks, no spade. Don't know what to say.
And the problem too is that John Isaac's reputation now working in his favor. And an ace on the turn. Now, if the queen wasn't reason enough to be concerned, the ace definitely is. And there it is, the emotion from Paulie G, and rightly so. I mean, this is a
6K,
gross.
7K? Yeah, we're playing a 4-bet pot. The board's queen 9-9 ace. We are against action John Wick.
I don't have kings.
But
I have worse.
he's been pretty cordial. He called a 4-bet.
A queen beats me and an ace beats me.
So let's listen to Paulie G.
And I.
And kings.
And kings. Kings also beat me.
Just got to find enough bluffs. Is he really going to jam like 7s, 8s,
Fuck me.
5,
This is where you just
6s?
show me like this. I have the
Jack
spades.
10, you
I
have
the
jacks.
spades.
So
Could have Jack 10 spades.
Oh, okay. Oh, in 50 comments for the justifying is 50.
It's fine.
was
Yeah,
that-
I got the point. Thank you.
63. I'm
getting
Here,
like-
I'll give it to him as a gift. How about that? Big pot.
Getting a lot of pot odds here.
Okay,
you know what? Fuck it. You deserve it.
Okay, he says that.
Oh, wow. Makes the call. And
Whatever you want. Oh, I'm just dead. Whatever you want. Twice is
Once is what? Twice. Who's that twice? Go ahead.
Twice. Go.
Okay, twice.
And Apology in search of a jack. Needs to find it on
more time.
2 tries to chop this up. And it's a king instead. And
Nice hand. I'm gonna pay you something. I have 7. This is.
But yeah, I like that, Remco. Just have like lined with like 200,000.
but like with duct tape, you know?
This way he gets
That's
to
strong.
every time, even if it's 400.
I was thinking like very tailored type thing. But yeah, anyway, here we go.
Thank you.
No, but like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's the
picturing?
I'll give it back.
Like when he like needs to reload, the sound of the duct tape releasing.
1-1.
That's strong. That's strong. I like that.
But I owe.
Yeah, you owe one. Oh, yeah, one more then, I guess.
Oh no, I don't know, because we get discount.
Okay.
We don't pay the small blind if we buy it. In
Hey,
this thing.
Dr. Costa,
Not just
he's
me.
getting activated. You know, he's getting some hands now. He's getting some things going his way.
When it gets in the corner.
Okay, we got 40K in front of us here for Dr. Costa.
it's confusing. When it's here,
I mean, you probably your hand's probably good enough to put in another bet.
In the corner.
5K in the middle.
And I ended watching it when after you said you guys text more than women.
You're like, that's
That
old.
was the last time.
He said, "There's old Baxter."
Baxter, that's a good one too.
Oh my God!
Wow,
Oh
7,400 from Dr.
Remco.
Costa. The Queen 3 goes all in
The Queen 3 is all in here.
for 40 G's.
And Costa is not a folder. I told you, he's not a folder.
Yes.
I'm going to teach you something I don't think that you know.
Oh my God.
Have you heard of the word yenta?
He's like
Yenta?
Braxton
Yenta.
Dunaway. He's not a folder.
It's a Yiddish word. It's like a Yiddish.
Oh, the
Yiddish is an
casual
old Jewish
toss.
language close
One
to
chip in the
German.
middle. He's not too sure
But,
about it, but
The Jews
Twice.
in
it
Eastern
could
Europe.
not be any better right now.
But I'll go twice.
Yenta.
So
If you want to go
and
once,
what it
this
means
one,
is
twice this one.
No, please,
Like-
twice.
Twice? Okay.
Yeah,
let's go.
Look, he threw the
Women
scarf on.
would
This
like
man
that.
is freezing. He is
Yeah.
cold-blooded.
Oh my
He's
God.
ready.
And he's hoping for Ace King. And Tiger gets the bad news. And it comes Ace King Jack.
Or outs
so
for him.
funny. My wife
the
is
Spanish way to say
Filipino.
it. Clubs.
In Tagalog, they say it's
And Dr. Costa wins the first one.
Chisme. Same thing, cheese mix or something.
Wow.
Queen 3 is just.
The eyebrows raised now for Dr. Costa, thinking to himself, how can I
You
lose
can't
this?
even lose now. He needs a 9.
9.
7 on the turn.
Is 3 good?
And 8 on the river.
Oh my
Finally,
God.
he wins one. Finally.
And that's a big one. We are now in the black.
Can we play some song on stream?
When I was 12 years old at the Florida Marlins playoff game.
Oh boy.
That they ended up winning, actually the World Series game. They ended up winning. My dad and I were there. But in the commotion of a home run ball flying near us, about 10 feet away, I lost my lucky chip, and that might have changed the trajectory of my life, Remco.
You had a lucky chip at age 12?
At 12, yes, I
That
did.
is that you were gambling from an early age.
But I'm pretty lucky now, so. And look at this hand. Hold on, we got a couple flush draws, and we have Oaken with the ace of clubs.
I don't know, like issue with restaurant businesses, just you're surrounded by not very competent people. I mean, unless you
Dr.
do some high-end
Costa
restaurant.
debating how to
it's very hard
proceed with
manage.
9 high
I
and a
know, I
flush
mean, it's
draw.
still making money, possibly, but
And look, we're going to have beat done squeezed in between all this action on a paired board. We might just see the jack deuce of clubs fold, but I know beat done's not really a folder.
Just actually brought the worst of me. Okay.
So I would ask it to Brian. He's the guy.
But
I'm
he's
just
debating.
wondering why they have no shisha bar in Las Vegas. I mean, they have it, but it's not good.
And B-Done grabbing chips here as Dr. Costa already put in 3,300.
And I mean, what are those manila things that your 5th grade teacher used to carry your homework to in class?
The envelopes?
Folders.
Oh.
They're folders, Remco, and that's not what B-Done is. He's not a manila folder.
Wow.
He's a 3-better. He's getting the money, and he don't care. He's got an overcard and a flush draw. And now if you're Dr. Costa, this is troublesome. But, I mean, these guys are action-defined. So I have no idea what's about to happen. Now here, you could fold 9-5 of clubs here because, one, your opponent either has a 10 or they have a better flush draw than you, I would imagine, right? Queen X of clubs, King X of clubs, Ace X of clubs. But I don't know. These guys play on another stratosphere.
Oh, Dr. Costa with the jam. B-Dun snaps it off, and Dr. Costa could not be in worse shape here.
Twice.
B-Dun thinks he needs to hit.
Go.
But Jack High is way good here. 5 on the turn. Oh! Is Dr. Costa finally getting lucky? No, he's not. No, he is not.
I have a flush. How big? Not very big. I mean, well, decent.
Oh, the 5 again.
Mine's a 9 high. Mine's a jack. Oh,
Oh, the flush comes again. No way.
No way. That's so dirty.
This is so stupid.
That's crazy.
That is a disaster.
That is insane. Like,
you got me covered. You got me covered, right?
Okay.
Oh my God, 5 on the turn both times for Dr. Costa. Unlikely card.
Borat and Justin have some pretty looking hands. And look, Justin, we could see a back-to-back. No, just the King 10 hits the muff. Okay.
We will try.
Send his ass back to Argentina.
9-6-3 with 1 spade. Borat flopping top pair and a backdoor. Gaston with a gut shot. Let's see if Gaston wants to fire at this.
Yeah, gut shot, overcard to the 9, 8 of diamonds working. So I think it's a good hand to start bluffing. And we probably just see the money get in.
Overpair? No. You? 5 and 9.
I would have been all in.
We got twice.
All right, we are going twice. Money ending up in the pot.
You have ace? No.
5 and an ace. Borat's 9 holds up here. Gaston really needs a 10 or a 7.
Flush, yo.
And Borat wins both here. Just like that, 52,000. No big deal.
And these are sometimes you see Isaac jam here, but I don't know. We're a little deeper. Call is kind of common here.
Definitely setting ourselves up for a potential big clash because we've seen John Isaac jam far worse hands. But versus Tiger, he might reconsider. Does make the call. You mind this call?
I like it. I like it a lot.
We got enough left to play for. 14K in the middle.
You're out of position. That's the one bad thing here, but you have a great hand. And now you still think you have a great hand.
Right.
Although we know ace queen and ace king are superior.
Now, obviously, John Isaac knows that ace queen, ace king is definitely in Tiger's range, but also with the backdoor clubs, he's not going anywhere. And he's just going to raise it up to get the money in here.
Which is okay. You know, sometimes you might want to raise ace queen or ace jack and just try to squeeze value out of worse aces, maybe kings, queens, but yeah, worse aces mostly.
Look at this. Tiger just with the call. Now 34K in the middle. And are the alarm bells going off right now for John Isaac? Are kings and queens still in the hand? And look at that. John Isaac just comes with the shove.
I mean, look, you can have better. You can get called by worse. That's all I got to say. You can get called by worse here. Tiger could have ace-8. Tiger could have ace-4 suited. Tiger could have ace-10. So,
well,
we run it twice.
Tiger snap called. They're running it twice. Tiger wins the first one. John Isaac needs a jack and a jack only, and it comes 3-5, which does not help. And this is the biggest pot of the night by far, as Tiger gets a double up through John Isaac in a huge pot.
I paid full rake yesterday in the PLO tournament because I couldn't get here on time.
Wow.
I was in another tournament.
Do you feel like you should get a hat for that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, right? Like, come on. But, you know, I think if I win the tournament, they'll give me a hat.
I mean,
right? I'll win I'll win a Poker Go Cup,
right?
Which I would love. I'll win the Venetian Lion, which I made a bet with Tommy that I'll win one this year, and then I'll get the Venetian hat. Okay, Boosted J top 2 here, and he somehow doesn't have all the equity because Royski has the king high flush draw. We see a couple clubs already out. And Steve with a little something too, top pair. Remco, do you have a hat?
Do I own hats or,
do you
or the
have a
Venetian hat?
poker hat?
I have a Venetian poker hat, but I've not been able to get my hands on these new ones.
Okay, just asking.
So if I were to pick a color, I would go for that little, is it like a dark gray?
Yeah.
On the side there? That looks beautiful. You know, Tristan, the problem that I have as we see Steve get out of the way and we go to the turn, my head's so big, hardly any hat is comfortable on my head. Ace on the turn. This is a
ace of clubs.
Insane card.
If Royski's night couldn't have gotten any worse, say
Wow.
goodbye to another 44,000.
This is unbelievable. The ace of clubs giving Justin Smith the boat.
And we might see Justin just trap and check here. But
how sick is it, by the way, that Katsov also has a jack? Like, there's not that many jacks in the deck here.
I mean, we saw Steve fold the ace. That's even, you know, a consideration as well. And what's going through Justin's mind here is, you know, you could check and trap, but if someone bets the river and I jam, am I getting paid by flushes? Maybe not all the time. So maybe he's like, you know what, I'm just going to bet now because a flush is going to call here and then have to call again. And that's kind of what we see here.
13-3 from Justin Smith. And Tristan, one of the things when you have a flush on this paired board is that you can give Justin Smith credit for a lot of different kinds of aces that are not full houses yet.
Yeah, and worse flushes.
Yeah.
And here's the other interesting thing. Steve was the initial raiser, Justin called. So you could probably rule out some pocket jacks from Justin's range, some pocket aces potentially. There's only one combo of pocket aces left, right? The ace of spades, ace of diamonds would have to be in Justin's hand. So yes, to your point, Royski can be calling here and have Justin dead if Justin just has queen high clubs.
And here we go. Royski all in for 43,000. The snap call will follow. 106,000 in the middle, and Royski is drawing dead.
Once.
Drawing stone dead. Visible and audible frustration, understandably so for Royski. What a disaster session for him as Justin Smith wins one of the biggest pots of the night in an insane cooler.
Plus that.
Ay, ay, ay.
And thank you.
Welcome.
Time pot. Time flop. Last one.
I used that one earlier, Jelly Bean.
LaDarren.
Hats off to cats off. Yes.
Now 500.
If anyone could come up with some other
Justin, you the 500.
witty puns, please.
Oh, I put it. Sorry, my bad. Didn't say.
Welcome back to the PGT PLO Series. 4 players remain, all vying for the top prize of $180,400. 11 bigs for Zachary Schwartz. Shing with 16 bigs, Kempton with 29, and Druckman in control with 59 big blinds. The first 90 minutes, the first 2 levels were a bit static, robotic, however you want to call it. We lost.
Boring?
Boring is a word, yes. LaDarren Banks busted just before the break, and Kempton won the final hand before the players stepped aside for a little bit. But let's see what the next 2 levels will bring. Let us know in the chat who you're rooting for. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Remco Ingham, Donnie Peters in the booth. The final day of the PGT PLO Series at Venetian.
350.
Venetian has been a wonderful host to the PGT, as always. And the battle I'm most interested in right now is between Shing and Schwartz.
Can I get a hot chocolate?
Whipped cream?
No.
No whipped cream? Live a little.
He snapped off the no.
That's unbelievable.
Who orders hot chocolate?
Who doesn't get whipped cream when you do order a hot chocolate? Last year when my wife and I went on our honeymoon, she was pregnant and obviously, didn't want to go nuts with the caffeine.
Jesus in my hands.
So hot chocolates became her go-to drink, and she must have had 3 per day. Just
well, there's caffeine in chocolate.
Yeah, but it's negligible compared to coffee. But she became a hot chocolate expert with whipped cream. Aces for Schwartz. Perfect timing. Sitting on 10 bigs.
I just got a video.
Oh boy.
From the floor, from our friend Tim Duckworth.
Oh boy.
Guess who is here in the poker room?
Just in the poker room? Just like playing, or?
I don't know. In this video, they are not playing. They're sitting at an empty table over by where this room is.
Okay, I'm going to figure this out. Schwartz made it 525, pot size raise, nothing there for Druckman. All right. The way you said it makes me think that obviously it's someone who feels out of place. The other thought I have is
for sure out of place for
the moment.
Yeah, for the moment.
I'm going to go with an old school player. Is that a correct assumption?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
I mean, I guess you could maybe make an argument that they are old school, but nah.
Well, interesting. Wow. This is you got to give me. Well, the chat can also guess. Can you give me a hint?
One hint is that they have played on Venetian Poker Live.
Wow. That narrows the field. Is JRB back?
No, but that's a good guess. I would have said old school with JRB.
Oh, yeah, fair. Okay, so it's not JRB. Played on Venetian Poker Live.
Call.
Okay. I mean, it wouldn't be a shock to see guys like, John Isaac or Brian Oaken, because they probably have a game going on. I don't think Julian Martini or Roy would elicit that kind of response from you, being surprised, as we see Schwartz now make it 450 after Druckman limped in. Schwartz doing exactly what he has to do right now. Charlie in the chat says grinder.
See, good guess. But I would say grinder is 1, old school, and 2,
wouldn't be surprising
because he is a Venetian ambassador.
Yeah,
not surprising.
Right. I don't think. No, it's not. It's not Wasserson. It's not Ace. It's not Tiger.
I did see Tiger out there, by the way. But
okay, yeah. I mean,
not him.
there's probably a big game going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
The question, Harrison, is that I just got a video from one of our colleagues on the floor of somebody who is here in the Venetian Poker Room that I would have guessed is the last person that I would have expected to show up to the Venetian Poker Room today, or one of the last.
Is it Matt Berkey?
Raise
No.
350.
This person was recently on social media for something successful that they achieved in poker. And part of my surprise is that that person said, I'm going to somewhere else next, which is not here.
Wow. the plot thickens.
And given the timeline of where we are in the poker calendar, I would not have ever expected to see this person here. Nick Schulman is guest. No. Hiring. No. Keating. No.
Helmuth?
No.
Old school also.
As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
this person, like, I could have said Helmuth. It's like this. I think it's going to garner the same reaction.
Okay.
Just out of the sheer randomness of it.
King 10 deuce, 2 hearts. Kings and deuces for Druckman here. I do like how you got the chat going, Donnie. This is great.
That's right.
I'm so far stumped, but I'm still thinking. I can't think of the hint you gave about the achievement, so I'm stuck on that for now.
Person has almost $20 million in live tournament earnings.
Wow. That really narrows the field. Oh, wait.
The chat has guessed it.
I know it. I haven't looked at the chat. I know who it is.
Who?
Martin Cabral.
That is correct.
Yes.
Martin Cabral is in the building for God knows what reason, but he's here.
Martin, pull up a chair.
Raise 350.
Not like that.
Casino Royale, baby. Let's go. I mean, is he here to play a big cash game?
Must be. There must be some.
Is he here to get in the last 5K high roller? You never know, right?
Well, didn't he make a circuit event final table at Bally's?
He just won a circuit ring.
He won
and
a
then
ring.
he said, like, on to Prague or something like that for WSOP Europe. So that's why I would have expected him to never, ever be here. But he's here.
That's excellent.
Empty.
You got any more quizzes for me? That was kind of fun.
No, that's all I got, man.
Wow, the Golden Knights fired their head coach.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. Wild, right?
Yeah. They hired
John Tortorella's in there.
Yeah. That's a name.
That's a personality.
Yeah. Tortorella, like, could be like your uncle.
Tortorella seems like an insane person. Druckman looking like he's about to be the first person to hit 10 million here. Just cruising along.
My favorite sport to get a sunburn at is back. Shout out baseball. Baseball is like my top sport where I don't watch a single game until the playoffs, and then it's like super exciting. Jack 10, 7-5. Also, you know, a little bit exciting, at least double suited. But are the players in the blinds too short? Excuse me, he's only dealing with Schwartz.
Yeah, only dealing with Schwartz here. Probably just come with a limp. Be able to play this post and apply the pressure there.
Check.
Queen 10-4. This is going to spark some intrigue. We got queens and fours for Schwartz. We've got Jack 10 with spades for Druckman.
Check.
And given how Schwartz has approached some of these situations, blind versus blind against Druckman, I imagine he just pots this right here, tries to get the money in. You know, he is on the shorter side.
$275.
$275 from Schwartz. And for Druckman having backdoor diamonds as well, he's going to perhaps bank on some fold equity along with the fact that he has a pair and a draw. This seems like a check raise spot to me.
I think the money does get in here.
10 seconds.
Druckman always seems a little pained.
Pot.
And he does announce pot.
Pot.
Back on Schwartz.
1.275.
That's almost all of it. Schwartz with a little extra left in front of him. And he's going to move all in. We got a showdown worth
I call.
3.4, excuse me, 3.8 million chips.
Queen 4.
And this could really change the dynamic of the final table if Schwartz finds a way to survive here. Druckman with spades and 2 10s as outs. Diamond on the turn could almost double his outs. Let's see what the turn brings. Turn is the 9 of clubs.
Okay.
That is a card. 15 outs now for Druckman. Schwartz, 62% to double up and to be right back in this thing. River card is the 6 of spades. And that will do it. Good games exchanged. And Zachary Schwartz busting out in 4th place. A quick exit through the glass door as he'll go on to collect his payout of $57,000. And Shing might be making a little fist under the table because he just got himself a nice pay jump up to $79,800 with only 9 big blinds remaining in his stack. And Donnie, don't look now, but Druckman is running away with it.
Druckman is absolutely running away with this tournament. 66% of the chips in play, 75 big blinds to work with. For Zachary Schwartz, you know, he just really had no situations that benefited him today. Just kind of had to wait around, given how the final table shook out. Ultimately got his money in with what was the best hand. Yeah, decent amount of equity, all things considered. Needed to fade turn and river, but couldn't do it. Still, a good showing by him.
It's a large raise.
That includes the small
Cashing for 57K is a
By the
very
way.
well
Just in
done
case you were having
performance.
any ideas of messing around.
You got max pressure going.
525. You include a small blind, even if it's not here.
Huh?
You include a small blind even if it's not
You
here.
can mess around if you
For
want.
pre-flop.
I don't mind.
It's
I
525.
would have called this to 450, but
That is correct. This was confirmed earlier in
Small
the
blind does
series.
count, even if it's dead.
The small blind does count, even if it is a dead small blind.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We all learn something.
That way,
Every day.
you know, when there's multiple fields or tables going on in a tournament, no table is at one disadvantage or no player is at a disadvantage that they can't raise to a little bit more than somebody else could just based on somebody getting knocked out.
Every
So
pot is so huge.
that is the
You
rule.
get the blinds and it's like fuel. That'll fuel me for so long.
I might have thought that would have been an interesting spot for Druckman to just 3-bet.
Yeah, almost.
I mean, he's got ace queen in his hand. You know, there is some argument that those could be hands that block your opponent's hand. And like, what's Kempton gonna do with how short Shing is?
Yeah, Kempton can't do anything. Even if he has aces, he can't play for stacks. Makes no sense.
No, not with where Shing. I mean, he probably does play for stacks with aces, but it's not like. It's probably fine, but also not comfortable to do so. But yeah, I mean, you have an ace though if you're Druckman, so you block some of that.
And Shing is just completely free rolling here. No pressure on him. He's in the final 3, facing 2 large stacks. He's got 6 big blinds. And again, to 2 hands prior, This is a spot where Kempton can do nothing. And there's a look at the trophies. Whoever wins this is going to need some help carrying these to the car. It's going to be quite an ordeal. Ace 5-5-4 with spades for Kempton, and you know, at this stage you have to assume that Shing's all in, so the hand you have needs to be worthy of those 6 big blinds.
Raise. 5 high.
Discount this time.
Just for you.
Thank you.
Man, you're not gonna do shit. Get out of here. Oh shit.
Druckman. Is Druckman supposed to flat here just so they have a chance to maybe check it down if Shing finds something?
I don't know. The hand might not be good enough.
Let's see a flop.
Call.
350 behind for Shing.
Also, do you want to give Shing even
We
more
should have
ammo?
lemon on
Should
that.
he end up tripling up versus doubling up?
True.
3 minutes.
3 seconds.
Jack 9-3 rainbow.
How much is that?
Top 2 for Shing.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I mean, I don't think Kempton can call this as much as he might want to, as much as this price is.
Take your time.
Pretty
you got
good.
time bank.
I know I do.
Don't rush things.
1, 2.
25.
I'm sure I have outs.
He's got back doors. And the 5 actually is a direct out here.
All in and a call.
All right, so Shing looking for life. And Druckman wouldn't mind if Shing doubles up. Then he's got 2 smaller stacks to push around. 1.9 million in the middle. Can Shing hold up here? He's got 84% equity. Great spot for him. Let's see the turn card. It's the 10 of clubs. And now a 5 and a 5 only will send Shing to the rail. It's the 3 of diamonds, and Shing will double up. And the dynamic is changing a bit here.
Would you have won?
I would have.
Here's a look at playpokergo.com. Check it out. Available on web, iOS, and Android. Play for free. Play from anywhere. If you want to get a seat at the table, go to playpokergo.com.
Another free roll in 12 minutes. I might as well hop in. Bombed out of the last one, so, you know.
Yeah, I didn't hear from you, so I assumed.
I mean, I got it in good against 2 people and just got sucked out on. What do you want me to do, man? 12 minutes, free roll. Playpokergo.com. Let's go. Come try and bust me.
Call. Call.
Pot.
Pot.
Kempton with double suited aces.
600.
Oh, 600? 600.
Druckman opened the action by limping. Shing called into small blinds.
I did
Kempton
not expect that to get through.
Yeah.
picks up a nice one pre-flop.
How much do you have now?
1 sec, and I'll tell you. 2, 3.2, like 3.7.
Thank you.
Welcome everyone to the stream. Three-handed, 182,000 up top, 79,000 guaranteed. Final three of the 10K championship event of the PGT PLO Series. Druckman not wanting to build an unnecessarily big pot.
Check.
Shing happy to check with queen 9, 6-3. A7 deuce rolls off. Shing with the good flush draw.
Bet 150.
Druckman bets 150. Shing assessing the situation. Does have a flush draw, but how much of our small stack do we want to invest here? Perhaps peel one and then reassess.
Call.
Six of diamonds on the turn. Now pairing up. But will Druckman even fire again is the question. Calling the flop is going to earn you some free river cards sometimes.
Yeah, I would agree there.
10 seconds. Check.
And there it is, the check from Druckman, giving Shing a chance to check also, but I mean, it's too risky to try and take it away here, right?
I think so. And Shing has been, you know, quite patient, just willing to be patient with everything.
Somehow the nines hold up though, and if Shing doesn't bet here, he's going to be down again to 1.3 million.
Second. Check.
Druckman checks. This is it. This is the moment. Can you find a bluff? But can you make it believable?
I mean, I think just given how Shing has played, a bluff would be believable.
10 seconds.
Now, I mean, once he goes into that posture, I don't think it's going to be very believable at all.
Wait, am I small? He's small blind, right?
I just moved it.
Okay.
That's correct. We're blind versus blind last time.
Yeah, it was big.
No, I know that. I thought he dealt me first for some reason, but I was wrong.
Ace, queen, jack, 6 double suited for Druckman. He's on 12 million, by the way. Just cruising.
Think he can just raise this hand?
Raise 425.
Double suited ace,
Okay,
queen.
this could be it for Shing.
Yep, and both have ace, queen. And
There it is.
All in.
he's going to move all in. Two very similar
Yeah.
hands.
It's like 1.3, 1.4.
Chances of a chop are out there.
1.325.
All in and a call.
More or less hearts and diamonds versus clubs. And then it's 10-3 versus Jack-6. So there are some options here, but
I folded both of your side cards.
It's not
6
ideal.
and 3.
Or danglers.
Yeah, both your danglers.
John took a 10.
But I also folded all spades, so flush possibility.
All right, here we go. Oh. Jack 9-5, 2 spades. Open-ended here for Shing. But the Jack is a thorn in his side, as that pair is currently in the lead. 10 of diamonds on the turn.
Did not win a 10.
Shing finds about the worst card possible. Only 3 cards in the deck. 10 of spades, 10 of hearts, 3 of clubs can save him, or else he'll get third. And it's the 3 of diamonds on the river. The wrong 3 as Druckman makes a flush. Philip Shing eliminated in third place, taking home $79,800.
And the funds here.
And we are heads up between Druckman and Kempton.
He was.
The 2 players who have dominated this event for the past day or so will take a short break of about 6 minutes to get set up for heads-up play, get the trophies ready, and all that stuff. So we'll see you again in about 6 minutes for heads-up play with $182,000 up top for the winner and $114 for second place.
Here to talk about our May cash game promotion, the $200 high hand giveaway. Join us every day in May from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. daily as we award a $200 cash prize every 30-minute qualifying period to the high hand in the room. That's right, $200 every 30 minutes from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. daily. Join us all month long in May for our high hand cash game giveaway promotion. We can't wait to see you soon.
Gets done. That was a straddle or raise?
You started and I raised.
You raised.
Straddle.
What are some other cats off puns, Remco? You got any?
Wow.
15?
Not right now, but it'll come to me in the moment. Trust me.
Okay, yeah, you are a moment kind of guy. You're a reaction kind of guy.
I need the pressure.
Yeah. We have a lot of action right here. Look at this.
How much?
Carl down to 4,300, and instead of reloading, he's going to try and spin it up, channeling his inner Tristan Wade.
Hey, it works. Let's go, Carl. Little do we know we got Gaston in the straddle here with a premium 8s. Royski lurking in the back. The big slick suited.
42, you said?
Yep, 42.
I mean, this could get really wild.
Raise.
But Royski is, of course, going to charge a little premium here.
And an all-in, quick all in.
Wow. Oh, my God. 18K in the main, but 75,000 in the side pot. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, what a flop.
10-9-4 with hearts. 9 pairs. Wow. Too many outs?
Too many outs, Remco.
Oh. Gaston.
Royski can't believe it.
Wow.
It's always 8.
That's always the one.
He's holed up after that run out, and Royski is shaking his head. Desperation
and
now.
8 on the flop and more hearts.
That would have been sick.
Heart needed now for Royski. Queen comes home. Is there a heart out there? It is not. And Gaston wins both.
Wow.
Wow, flush on both. That's so crazy.
It's all going to the guy with the 8.
Ay, 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 ay. Gaston, 143,000 in front of him now.
This is why people go all in with 8s.
There's nothing Royski can do. Like Tristan explains to the people, every single pot he's played tonight, it played itself.
So I probably prefer just seeing John Isaac 4-bet that pre if he ever finds himself in that situation again.
Yep.
But whatever. I think he played a good post-flop too. So, you know,
It's the last one.
it's just there's a big advantage to denying people the opportunity to see if their hand is good or not, seeing flop turns and rivers. Okay, we do see Julian with top pair. We see Gal with a straight flush draw. We also see Tiger with a worse top pair. Let's see what Gal does. We just ships it.
All right, here we go. The 10 of spades could give him the straight flush. That's what we'd all love to see, of course.
The small chips don't play.
And if you're Julian, this is kind of tough because you're in between two players and you don't have a lot of backup here with the Jack 10 of diamonds. So we might see Julian leave the pot with the best hand and open the door for Tiger to gamble here with top pair. But no, Julian going nowhere. He says, oh, wait, I have a pretty good hand here. I'm in.
Okay. Julian with Jack 10 is a contender here. And now Tiger wondering to himself, wait, am I the odd man out here?
Yeah, now everything I was saying the other way, Tiger could maybe just be like, you know what? I don't know if my hand's any good here. So you could just see Tiger fold this. But maybe he says, look, the pot odds are here. I'm in position. I still have top pair. I could hit a 5. I could make a straight with a 6 and a 7. So I don't know, Remco. I have no idea. But this is pretty, this is a lot of action if you're here with Jack 5. Like, unless you're one of the, you know, Jackson 5 and you can see the future.
Oh my God.
We do see a call.
The 5 of spades might tempt him. Backdoor straight and flush draws. 41,000 in the middle. Action on the side between Tiger and Julian with Gal all in.
I will kill you soon.
This is a huge one.
And I mean, there's really no way to navigate a side pot here between these guys. And then 5 comes right in.
5 on the turn. Tiger with the foresight.
And this is a spot that would, oh my God, wait, Julian's going to bet this into a dry side pot?
16,000, opening the door for Tiger to just rip it here.
Yes, exactly. This hand needs protection. Look at all the draws out there. I have top pair and second to worst bottom pair. So yes, pile the money in with Jack 5 Tiger. Hear him roar.
This card is so interesting.
This card got me fired up.
I can tell. How is Julian going to react, though? I mean, you and I are just assuming he's going to jam. We have no idea, but I just feel like the kind of situation where jamming will happen more often than not.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Julian just cold called. Julian can have Jack 8, pocket 8s, pocket 4s. Julian can have traps here. But when you get to this turn card, I think you just got to put it in.
Oh, makes the
call.
call.
He just calls.
Okay. Hoping that Julian perhaps keeps betting a worse Jack.
Yep, maybe he just thinks he's on a flush draw or something. Oh my God,
Jack
Remco.
on the river.
The last Jack in the deck.
And Gal misses. Cannot forget about him. There's already 32,000 in the side pot. Julian with trips. Backdoor clubs come in. Not much of a concern.
Is he going to just put Tiger all in here?
Oh my God. Decides to check. And Tiger now, 29,000 left. There's 73,000 in the middle. Welcome back to the PGT PLO Series. We're down to just 2 players battling it out for the title and the top prize of $180,400. Jeremy Druckman and Isaac Kempton, who were involved in the most epic hand of the tournament last night, are now involved in a showdown for the title of a PGT PLO Championship winner. Trophies are on display. Players are getting ready. Kempton on 3.3 million. Druckman, a huge lead, 13.7 million. Donnie, given the fact that
like
Druckman has impressed you so much, what does Kempton have to do in order to mount a comeback?
Get aces.
No,
Lots
I'm
of
first,
times.
I believe. I call.
I mean, it's interesting because, you know, Druckman has been playing super well, but he's also specifically had Kempton's number.
Yes.
From about halfway through the day yesterday, whenever they joined tables, you know, he really just got the upper hand of him, you know, many times.
Raise 450 total.
$450 from Druckman with ace, queen, jack, 4 double suited. Kempton makes the call, and Kempton does not have much.
Over with quick.
Kempton trying to get it over with quick, which would mean, if it goes in his favor, that he doubles up like 3 times. King 10-3 with clubs. Big draw for Druckman.
Check.
Nothing exciting for Kempton. Does pairs 3, but we all know that those kinds of pairs can almost be disregarded until they become trips. Nine of clubs on the turn. Straight now for Druckman. No clubs for Kempton. Druckman just plays it passively. Not much incentive here for Kempton to start bluffing, given how shallow his stack is. I feel as though if you bluff, you almost have to be willing to bet 2 streets. Druckman very sticky, not known to just surrender.
Obviously, there is a presence of a flush here. Of course, that said, a straight in heads-up play I think is too good to possibly get away from.
Yeah, Druckman is just going to make the call, and the pot swells as we head to the river. 1.7 million now up for grabs, and the 3 pairs. That's the aforementioned trips that I was talking about. Druckman again with a check, and for Kempton, the question is, if we bet, why are we betting? What are we betting to achieve? And he does decide to check back with trips. It's a strong showdown hand, but Druckman had him all along, and Kempton now, after just 1 hand of heads-up play, down to 2.5 million.
Yeah, I think we might have seen another barrel had he not made trip 3s and picked up quite a bit of showdown value there, did Kempton.
Once again, thanks everyone for watching. It's been a lot of fun having 5 days of PLO tournament streaming.
And high-level PLO tournament streaming. You know, if any of the viewers out there, and I would put myself in this bucket too, you know, want to learn a bit about PLO, you can certainly watch back all of the hours of streaming that we did back from the $3,300 main event here at Venetian to here in the 10K PLO Championship. There's been a lot of really, really high-level play when it comes to tournament PLO, how to approach it, starting hand selection. You know, there's been a lot of strategies that include limping strategies, 3-betting strategies, stuff like that. So you can definitely glean a lot from watching this stuff and watching it back.
Yeah, and I was saying it to you after the show yesterday that I really feel as though I've learned a lot from just watching and, you know, trying to predict and anticipate what the right move can be. And I'll never claim to be a very strong player. I'm here, you know, to call it how I see it. You are much more well-versed in strategy, but it is definitely interesting when you're locked in on a live stream that has a good structure, how much you can really pick up from the way these people play.
Straight value here from Druckman with the flush, but nothing for Kempton over there that he's going to continue with.
ever since that call Druckman made versus Kempton, he's just been flawless. It gives you this sense of like, will he ever lose again? Like he's got to figure it out.
Like ever in life?
Yeah, like he's gonna just enter the next tournament and just keep on winning.
Sure.
I don't think he saw.
I didn't see.
Ace, king, 7 deuce. A bit of something and a bit of nothing for our chip leader.
Check.
Zulk in the chat says, whatever hand he wins with should be on the next trophy. Well, that'll be awkward for whoever wins the next trophy. Was it on the EPT, Donnie, where they had the glass trophy with a slit at the top where you could put the actual winning cards in the trophy?
I don't know.
Or was it might have been the might have been the Unibet Open. There was some tournament that did that. I thought it was a pretty smart idea.
Check.
Action gets checked. Druckman's ace king is best here. Yeah, I found it. It was the Unibet Open.
Check.
Kempton keeps on checking.
Pair of tens.
I got it.
Ace king.
I was going to call you too.
'Call.
Kempton just has to hit a few hands now because even the smaller pots are not going his way. Druckman just continues to make hands. And definitely hamstrung by the chip deficit here, Kempton. Creativity mostly goes out the window when you get short. Here we see queen 6-7. Equity split right down the middle. But nothing too comfortable yet for Kempton. And having just those two small stacks of orange, Donnie, that's got to be a sort of a mental blow as well. Like,
especially when you're looking at this on the other side of the table.
It's like you're, you know, naked in the middle of the high school cafeteria. You're so exposed. does get to win one.
I'd almost be asking Druckman for some
Yeah.
some browns just to feel a little bit more powerful over there.
Can I get some small chips, please? Donnie, we have something big going on this week. I need you to let the audience know, while we have them, that there's plenty of reason to call in sick from work.
Yeah, or you know, just work the first half of the day.
Right.
Don't work the second half of the day, or you know, call it early at lunchtime. But high stakes poker, baby.
Yes.
Live, boys and girls, live. 4 days of high stakes poker live coming your way on Poker Go. It will also be on the Poker Go YouTube channel. I'm told they're playing 500, 1,000 are the limits.
I can't. It's still unbelievable to me, really.
I do know that Andrew Roble, the king of high stakes himself, will be in the mix. Sam Kiki, also in the mix. I would say poker's newest bad boy, in a way.
I thought he wanted to be the good boy.
I mean, not like when I say bad boy, I don't really mean that he's like a true villain.
Right.
But you know, he's kind of a bad boy. You got Alan Keating as well. I mean, the last time Alan Keating and Sam Kiki played, it was just freaking fireworks up the wazoo. So that's happening. I think we're going to get Eric Wasserson. I know plenty of people who are familiar with the Venetian streams know about Was, how much fun he is. His VPIP is generally through the freaking roof. So that'll be a blast. At least scheduled right now. El Jefe himself, Kerry Katz.
Okay. Okay. Well,
he played recently on High Stakes Poker. Now he's back. He's got the cash game bug. I guess so.
Man. And these are not short streams either. There could be a lot of blood spill.
Yeah, the plan is to stream from approximately 3 p.m. Pacific time, so that's 6 on the East Coast, until 11 p.m. here in Vegas. So
wow,
that's a ton of streaming. 8 hours of streaming each day for 4 days.
That's pretty wild.
I personally feel like, and because this is live and it's coming up, it has not been shot yet. This isn't like something where we taped it already. It's a season of high stakes poker that's going to drop. I can say what I'm about to say. I think records are going to be broken.
Oh yeah. Yep, definitely. Definitely. I really think so.
Like, these guys are just nuts.
They really are.
So yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on Poker Go. 4 straight days.
That's unbelievable.
Stanley Tang's also going to be in the mix. Founder of DoorDash, he's out there. Darren Feinstein, he's always down to play some massive pots. Justin Gavry's on the list.
Is Arya ready with some nice bottles of red?
Of course they are. Of course they are. I even think, well, I think these guys tend to bring their own.
That's,
you know, it's one of those things where even if Arya doesn't prefer it.
We got action here. Sorry to interrupt you here, Donnie, but Kempton decides to go for it, and he has the best hand.
I mean, a fairly tame pot up until this point on the river. Raise from Druckman and a call. Check, bet 350, call, check on the turn. And now Kempton just going for it here on the end. Now he does have the best hand. 2 pair.
10 seconds.
Now you heard Druckman say yesterday when he was facing the pot size bet on the end from Kempton, as we do see him fold there. But yesterday you did hear him saying that long tank, that was like an 8 or 9 minute tank, being like you could be bluffing with the best hand.
Yep.
All right, let's do these 3. Very nice.
All right, so we're going to draw these 2 for me, please. Yep. We're going to play 2 more hands and the level. And to be clear, we're going to be at 30-minute levels starting at level 24. So 2 more hands and level 24. Okay?
Thank you.
2 more hands and then level.
All right, 2 more hands, and then going forward, 30-minute level since we are down to heads-up play. But the blinds are already enormous. We're about to go to the 100K, 200K level. Isaac Kempton will start feeling the heat. So we are gearing up for a massive week after wrapping up a massive week. It's like the action never stops. And then the week after high stakes poker is when the US Poker Open is on the calendar. A double suited kings here for Kempton, and
distracted.
he raises pot.
Sorry, keep going.
You got to be locked in, man. You can't be all willy-nilly eating a salad.
3 queens for Druckman.
Trips.
I like how Druckman is having his lunch as if he needs the fuel for the upcoming hours of battle. Just keeping a level head, not getting ahead of himself. Hasn't made the reservations yet for one of the many exquisite restaurants here at Venetian. Shout out Milos, one of my favorites. Shout out Cut. So many phenomenal restaurants on property. If you come on down, you might as well make it an all-day and all-night affair.
Check.
Jack 10-9. Druckman raised pre, and Kempton called. Druckman continues to just casually flop monsters and decides to check back here, giving Kempton a sliver of hope potentially. But the board pairs jacks, and the only thing now that could save Kempton at showdown will be a chop.
Check. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, blinds are up, Sean.
All right.
Good luck, guys.
Bad news for
Thank you.
Kempton. The blinds are up.
Poker players, we have partnered with Signature Dining Restaurants to make ordering fast and easy online. That's right, you can order for our Poker Room signature menu and have the food delivered tableside while you play. And if you want Nomakai or Sushi Samba, you can order through our QR code and have the food delivered right to the Poker Room at our Poker Room welcome desk. Never miss a meal while you play inside the Venetian Poker Room.
I was just talking about it. Tommy jumping in there with the food recommendations. Just so many options. Love it. Absolutely love it. Queen Jack 9-3 for Kempton on the button. Still on 20 bigs. King 7-3, 2 hearts. Druckman checks to Kempton. Both players paired their 3, got a queen kicker, so the percentage is not adding up to 100 because of the chop possibilities. And Kempton gets to win one to keep his stack alive, and it's more or less a matter of finding a spot to double and then to sort of restart, reframe. Because, you know, Kempton is, you know, not out of it by any stretch. It all starts with that one double up.
Pot.
Oh, pot from Druckman. Have not seen that.
How
all
much is
too
the wager?
It's 600.
Okay. I want to re-raise.
Oh.
I want to re-raise the size of the pot.
Alright, it's 600, 180, 1.8.
Okay, okay. We haven't seen Druckman's cards yet, but Kempton is.
You got anything?
Yeah. You're not priced in.
Okay, here? Yeah. 1 second.
I'm going to show them what I have.
Oh, no gamble, no future.
Okay, okay.
Wow. Donnie.
It's 1.8.
Verbal is binding.
With all
What kind
due
of board you
respect
looking
to the
for? You
man,
playing the numbers?
because we've been big
Playing the
fans.
pictures?
But if
I'm
you
not
say no gamble, no
entirely sure
future,
what I
I need
want
you to
yet.
go all in. You can't just be
Yeah, that's not a
calling
good
and then
sign.
possibly
Maybe a bit of
folding
everything.
flops.
That's not a
Okay.
good sign.
What are you looking for? Pictures, I assume.
I'm looking for the top card.
The top card?
You know that one?
Yeah.
Lots of lying going on here.
How about this
And
flop?
That's
He
not too bad,
flops a boat.
I'll take one of those any day.
And he's got the 10 with it also? Come on.
I mean, having
much
the
is in
10
there?
stinks because then
Yeah.
you block your opponent from having the 10.
More than what your chips.
Thank you. Thanks for that clarification.
Pure theater here with Isaac Kempton. His hand is too strong.
Yeah, just check. I do like the tank, though.
Yeah, this is
I
great.
would tank. I'd
Yep.
probably use 2 time extensions and then just check.
It's a good bit of theater here from Kempton. I love how Druckman has less than 1% because runner, straight
I'm
flush
all in.
is oh! He's going to move all in. I did not see that coming. I thought he would slow play this.
I mean, I can't say I like this. You're just never getting calls. Ever.
Yeah, what's out there to make the call?
I mean, you need your opponent to have a flush draw or straight draw, right?
Yeah.
Possibly the case 10, but I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like, just check. Let him
no,
let him
thank you.
possibly catch up with something.
Thank you very much.
All right, so Kempton now on a new high point during this heads-up battle, 5.2 million, and doubling up right now will be a real problem. You know, that would swing things in his favor immediately. This is no longer a case of Druckman having one sort of freebie almost. Double suited ace, jack 8-3 here. The Venetian chat is also lighting up. Why would he not check that? We're all wondering that here too, as we see 3, 4, 7. Pair and gut shot for Kempton.
Check.
The nut flush draw for Druckman though keeps the equity in his favor.
Check.
8 of spades on the turn. 8s and 3s now for Druckman.
Pot.
1.4.
Oh, this is interesting. Pot size bet from Kempton. Druckman, not flush draw, picked up 2 pair. Donnie, this is kind of a tricky one for Druckman.
Yeah, this is, but I think he could drive the action here if he wants to. I think he's probably going to lean call.
10 seconds.
Definitely not folding your hand. No way that's even in the realm of possibility here.
You have a pass. Extension. Okay.
Druckman with a real big decision. And
here's the pot.
Oh!
There we go.
He raises the pot. It's enough to put Kempton all in. And he is not going to like this. There it is. A quick swing. And those cards hit the muck.
And listen, when you're playing heads up versus when you're playing with more players at the table, it's a full table, etc. Probably a little bit more concerned about a hand like a 5-6 there versus when you're just heads up, the ranges can be wider. You have to be able to push your edges a little bit more, willing to take maybe a little bit more of a marginal spot than you would normally. And, you know, backed up by the nut flush draw as well, Druckman decides to go for it. Love to see it there. Kempton just can't continue whatsoever. And also, listen, by jamming there and taking that approach, Druckman doesn't allow himself to possibly get bluffed on the river. If the river's a blank and not a diamond, if Kempton comes with the heat again, you know, Druckman's got 2 pair, maybe not the best 2 pair, and, you know, he's got to make a big, tough decision, which he has made in the past, certainly at this, or in this tournament, but, you know, you just take that out and you say, listen, you got it, let's just play for it all. Worst case, I got diamonds to back me up here.
So right when we thought Kempton was, you know, perhaps starting a bit of a comeback, Got back up to 5.5 million, now back to 3.3, and that's only 16 bigs in this level. King 6-3, 2 diamonds. Druckman flops a king. Kempton's jacks. No good, and he made a 600K pre, so he's got another big chunk of his chips in the middle. Druckman doesn't even have that good of a hand, but he's got the cut shot to the straight, and he paired his king. Druckman.
500.
Just going to bet 500 here. And Kempton again forced to fold, and this is exactly what Druckman is looking for, keeping him on the short stack before that inevitable all-in clash. This is a beauty. Ace, queen, 10-8.
Yeah, Kempton would love to be able to get his money in here.
And I think that's sort of the problem with heads-up PLO when you're short, is that your opponent is much more incentivized to flat your raises than to give you an opportunity to gamble, so to say, by getting it all in pre.
Yeah, and you also see that at other junctures of the tournament too. You know, sometimes you'll see big pot size 3-bets and people just elect to just call, even when people have not that many chips behind. Just because you can see a flop, you can kind of see how your equity is gonna pan out, and then go from there. You know, should you whiff really badly, then you know you just fold your hand. You don't give your opponent the opportunity. This might be one of those exact situations here where Druckman comes with a limp here. Probably good enough here to just limp call, play in position.
Call.
I mean, Donnie, when you look at Druckman's resume, nothing really screams at you to say, you know, this man has been here before. This man, you know, has figured this game out. But when you watch him play, all I see is someone who's just completely comfortable in the spot, comfortable in the moment, and seems to just play like he's been here 100 times.
Yeah, and I know you brought up his resume yesterday and specifically the gap in it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a cash game gap, right? You know, you don't see a ton of PLO tournaments outside of the summer, maybe even outside of what the PGT is now brought in with the PGT PLO Series happening twice a year. But other than that, it's kind of few and far between, especially at the higher stakes. So maybe he's just a PLO cash game guy, and that's why we haven't heard of him, because you just don't hear about all the cash game guys. You hear about the tournament winners. 2-pair here for Druckman. Makes the call.
Someone must have hit a bat beat jackpot.
I believe that was probably the end of the Duke-UConn game. That was absolutely outrageous. Holy blunder by the Duke Blue Devils.
Go Sports. Kempton, ace-jack on ace-king, 4-5. Druckman has kings and fives. Druckman just always seems to have at least 2 pair.
I think the way Kempton's played this hand, it would kind of be natural for him to just pot this or go all in. There it is.
There it is.
Right on schedule.
Moves all in.
Can I get a count?
1.775.
And how much is in the middle?
2.2.
Druckman gives a little second look and makes the call. Look at these outs. We are almost out of screen real estate to show the 18 outs that Kempton has. We're basically flipping a coin for the tournament here. Can Kempton survive and get up to 5.7 million? Or will Druckman just end it here on the spot? 2 pair in the lead, kings and fives. Kempton has all the outs. Can he find one to survive? 4 of hearts on the river, and he does survive. We got a real battle again.
We do. I mean, Kempton is right back into this thing on 5.8 million now. I know there is still quite a sizable gap between him and Druckman, but Kempton has to be loving where he's at right now. Absolutely loving it.
All right, so we're sort of back to square one, or back to square two, because Kempton was already up to 5.5, then got back down to 2.2, and now he's again on 5.7.
$600.
600K with the double suited queen 10. Druckman with a bad hand, but still, as you can see, 50-50 on the equities. King, king, jack, and it just seems to be working out for him. Flops, trips with the mediocre hand. Kempton open-ended on a paired board, which is, of course, not too exciting.
Being the pre-flop raiser, though, yeah, I would expect to continue here. Has those backdoor diamonds that could prove a little bit of a safety net should he need it. Here comes the raise.
Yeah, Druckman stacking chips.
10 seconds. Raise. Make it 13. 1.39.
1.3 million.
1.3.
Kempton will be frustrated to see this. Kempton here just probably can't. He can't take the risk that Druckman doesn't have a king, right? His hand is just too weak for that.
Yeah, and it's could probably come down to the fact that, I'm like, he can call, I think, right? I think that's probably the approach getting this price, but it is worrisome if Druckman has a hand just like he has, a king 9,
Right.
where if you make your straight, he fills up and you're just toast.
4 clubs in the turn, and can only imagine the 2 words coming out of Druckman's mouth right here. Or
And
actually,
Kempton now, without a diamond coming, I think he's going to be able to get away from this one. But it still doesn't feel good having committed, you know, 1.8 million to this pot and ultimately having to surrender it. But I do think Druckman's going to come with jam here, and then likely the end of this one.
and there it is. Druckman fires away. Kempton lets it go, and he's back down below 4 million. Kempton just can't seem to push through.
Oh, sorry. It's on me.
Druckman limps in.
Check.
King 5-7, 2 diamonds.
450,000.
450, and this time the best equity for Kempton, but neither player with anything.
Cool. Yep.
You know, Kempton has been able to win a couple big pots. Druckman has also won some big pots as well, but Druckman has really just won all the small pots.
Right. Speaking of big pots, go to playpokergo.com. Get in the mix right now. Play for free. Play from anywhere. Available on web, iOS, and Android. It's free. It's fun. Go and check it out. It's a very, very fast-paced play. I would say that you're probably going to have a good time watching the stream and playing some cards on the side. A look at the 2 trophies on the line. Kempton still vying for the trophy.
600 raise.
And the battle rages on with Jeremy Druckman in control of this final table. He's sort of been in control ever since the hero call succeeded versus Kempton.
Yeah, and even a little bit before that, you know, it started building that, listen, this guy's here to play, certainly looks locked in. Every hand, it looked like he was just giving it 185%, never willing to really part with the chip. And then that big hand did come up. He made that enormous hero call against Isaac Kempton. And from there, it was just, it was game on. And, you know, we talked about it many times. It was very much setting up like it was going to be these 2 heads up. And while it has been those 2 stealing the headlines, up on top has been Druckman the entire time.
Right.
Day and a half, basically.
Yeah, that's true. King 7. Druckman for a change does not flop a big advantage. And Kempton is going to just fire out 300K.
Yeah, but I don't think Druckman can just fold right here. I think especially for this price, just have to call. Can play in position. Tens can certainly just be the best hand right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing about heads up. A single pair in your hand is just that much stronger.
We've seen double barrels before from Kempton. He looks like he has another one in him. Really milky looking 25% pot here. When small on the flop, he's going small again here. See if Druckman can see through this one.
And it's got to be so hard for Kempton to fire on 3 streets to really sell that he has the king. 3 of diamonds on the river. Pocket tens for Druckman are best here.
Now I know Kempton did hit this 3 on the end, but I don't really think he considers that to be showdown value. So I think he's just going to debate between, do I go for this? And I think he'd have to go for all of it, or do I just shut it down here? I think Druckman loves to see that check. He can just check behind. Hopefully he wins, and he's going to.
Sorry, it's another 10.
Goes check, check, and Kempton down to 2.3 million, and we're approaching the next level. This is crazy.
All right.
Druckman just seems to be so comfortable calling down in spots like that.
So two hands. Two hands, guys.
All right, 2 hands before the blinds go up to a whopping 125, 250.
I would prefer to, yeah.
We'll take that break after 2 hands. Okay,
Thank you.
All right, 2 hands left in the level. Then the players will go on break. Quick little reminder here. Kempton has $6 million in career earnings. Druckman has 340,000. Druckman does have, a cash in a 10K PLO event at WSOP. So, he's no stranger to high buy-in PLO action, but if we're just comparing resumes, Kempton has a massive edge. But of course, that's not how poker works. And today, it is Druckman who's been in total control.
Raise 600,000.
Druckman raises the 600. And look at this. Kempton is going to make the call only with 1.7 back. This is getting dicey. Kempton is hoping to flop something. Comes 6, 7, 8 with 2 spades. Kempton flopping top 2, but Druckman flopping a straight. This is an all-in waiting to happen, and Kempton is in trouble.
Yeah, unfortunately for Kempton, I just don't think he has enough chips here to be able to navigate himself out of this one. Of course, he could still fill up, yes, but I do agree with you. I think the money goes in here.
Kempton called the raise with the king 8-7 deuce to then flop to top 2. Now, obviously, there's a straight possibility out there. There's 2 spades.
Pot.
And Kempton is going to pot.
Here we go.
Pot.
And just for good measure, Druckman raises all in over the top to get the money in. And Kempton with only 4 outs. Needs a 7 or an 8 to fill up for a full house. If he doesn't, Jeremy Druckman will be our champion. 4.7 million in the middle. We've been through similar scenarios where Kempton had a chance to double up, but this is the worst shape he's been in as Druckman flopped a straight. Turn card is the king of spades. Spades no factor in this hand, but Kempton picks up another pair and another out. So now 5 outs going to the river. Druckman, hands to the face. Can he fade the 5 outs? He can, and it is all over. Isaac Kempton eliminated in second place, taking home $114,000, but our champion is Jeremy Druckman. Wire to wire at the final table, put on an impressive display on day 2 as well, and a more than deserving winner of the PGT PLO Championship event at Venetian Resort and Casino. He collects $180,000 for his win, the largest win of his poker career. Just want to tip my cap to him for such an impressive showing. For Donnie Peters, my name is Rem Karinkema. We'll see you again on the PGT for the US Poker Open, kicking off on April 10th. Got a whole bunch of streaming coming up for that series as well. For those that are into the Hold'em cash games, we've got high stakes poker on the PokerGo channels happening this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Should be a good time. Once again, Jeremy Druckman taking home that heavy Lion trophy. Yes, that is not stuck to the table. It is actually that heavy. There it is, the big smile for him. Congratulations to Jeremy Druckman. Thank you all so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next Venetian Poker live stream happening next week on Saturday. Oakens game, don't miss it.